Here we go. Let's plug this in. Let's plug this in. Let's turn this thing off. Get on. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello, let's turn this sound on. Sound on, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me, everyone? Can you hear me, everyone? Can you hear me, everyone? Okay. There we go. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Joodles is here. Claire is here. Gnome Hunter is here. We're all here. Joe is here. Again. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Let's get hello, everyone. Hello to you people. Lorna is here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Lorna. Claire is here. The girls are here. There we go. Keith Bexley is here. Paul Yoward. Good to see you, Paul. Yesterday, Lucy was here. She says she's not coming back. Let's see who else is here. So we got Claire. Hi-ho Kermit. Kermit is here. Let's see what else is going on. John Van Dam is here. And so it's, hey, Lewis, what am I, a friggin' chopped liver? I love chopped liver. I don't necessarily love chopped liver, but it's all right. It needs to be. I can see chopped liver on a bagel, chopped liver on maybe even on not white toast, rye bread. What is rye bread? Is rye bread sourdough bread? Is it a form of sourdough bread? What is rye bread? I'm gonna Google that because I need to know. I'm not sure that you guys know what this is. What is Jewish rye bread? Maybe there's a different kind of rye bread. It's a classic light rye bread featuring a thick, chewy crust. It typically uses a combination of rye and high gluten wheat flour, the first clear flour, with a sourdough base. So it's got sourdough in it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know bread. Daz is here. Welcome, Daz. He says hi all to Daz. Yesterday we've had a couple of really rough days with Lewis Schaffer. I've said some horrible things that people have not liked. I mean, if you want to continue to discuss it, we can continue to discuss it. You can tell me your opinion on it. My opinion is, I think that council houses have destroyed the people of this country, the working class people of this country, that it has had a major effect in the destruction of this. Look at my hair. Look at my hair. It tastes like sourdough. Yeah, it does. Oxford has a sourdough pizza place. The truth is that all pizza bread is a sourdough bread. All pizza bread, is it not? I think it is. It's a sourdough. What the hell are you drinking? I'm drinking, this is tea. What are you going to get? Can you get me something?
I'm not going to the shop.
Where are you going?
I told you.
Where? Oh, to see your mother.
Yeah.
He's going to see his mother. Are you
Shut
gonna
up. Stop fucking fake crying.
Are you gonna come back?
Do you want to get hit?
My son just threatened to hit me. This is elder abuse. He doesn't like it when I cry. I can cry on demand. Most people haven't had council houses the entire time you've been here, Lewis. How would you know? Most people haven't had council houses. What does that mean? They haven't lived in it. That's why it's destroyed the country. Because, like, you take a look at a place like Southwark, it's got maybe 100,000 council houses. It's got the largest amount of council houses of any borough anywhere. And what happened is it was great because the people moved out of their homes into the council houses. And then when they wanted to move to someplace nice, like Whitstable or Dartford, someplace away from Southwark, those flats became available. But there was nobody here who wanted them. Number. It's a number. 100,000 is a number. It's a high amount of council houses as a percentage, Joodles. Make sure I'm saying it right. And here's my I'm thinking this constantly. Suddenly you've got Southwark Council with a lot of vacant houses, and they need the houses to pay the rent. So who do they let into the country? Immigrants, foreigners from other countries whose ancestors did not build the country, whose ancestors did not build those houses, whose money it was. Houses work towards banning mortgages, only one home per person, ban overseas residents from owning homes, ban trust and corporations from owning homes. I mean, those are some things that could be done. Let people buy as many houses as they want to buy. Whitstable and Dartford are nice places. The entire mouth of the Thames gray. Now it does too. That's what happens when you've got empty council houses that Southwark Council needs to fill up with people. Like my neighbor's a Nigerian, lovely guy. Now he's dead. Now they're Spanish, vaguely Spanish. They're Spanish Angolans or wherever they come from. They're not even here. They don't even live here. The people upstairs. It's like we need to bring people in to fill up. Yeah. So that's that. I thought we'd be talking about Andrew thing. Yes, we could talk about the Andrew thing because that's something that really upsets me. I don't think it's right that they arrested him. We could talk about that. Lewis, on your 100th birthday in the UK, you'd get a letter from the Queen. When you turn 16, you get a DM, says Julian, from the Prince, formerly. Well, you know what? I call him Prince Andrew. You can't tell me that I can't call him Prince Andrew. Am I not allowed to call him Prince Andrew? And then in this glass is hot cocoa. I found a bag of hot cocoa.
You found?
I said he's a scapegoat too. That's the word that I use to describe him. He's a scapegoat. What did he actually do wrong? He's the second son. And they wanted to keep him around. Okay? He served the country a little bit in the war. Why is it not right he was arrested? I'm going to tell you why it's not right. What? You tell me why he was arrested. Because he was hanging out with this guy? Because he's having sex with young women or underage women? Can I call them girls? You know, you can't call them girls. You can't call them women. They would not have arrested Andrew if they were not 100% sure he was dodgy. Yeah, you're talking Paul Yoward. Is that a joke? Do you have a joke symbol after that? This is the British police. They are the dodgy ones. They're the dodgy ones. And you know me, I'm totally against the royal family. Lorne, I think he is too. I don't like him at all. But it's about the financial info. Well, that's what they say. Have they showed the financial info? You know, and the thing about Mr. Epstein is that he was a liar. He wrote all sorts of things to make it seem like he was important because he was a stupid little guy from Bermondsey. I think you have an entirely wrong way around here, Lewis. Waiting lists for council houses in the entire country has been growing for the last 25 years. We don't need to fill them. Well, I'm saying this is what happened here. There was filled 25 years ago with people who did not belong in this country. Okay? Those houses, including this beautiful house, was built for heroes, British heroes. And because the woman in this place bought the place. She walked to. She was a British. I don't know what her ancestry was. I mean, not her ancestry. I don't know whether her parents were in the war or whatever. Right, the waiting list now because they've let in too many people. They've let in too many people. Yeah, because the people in this country cannot get on that waiting list. For example, the average wait for a 3-bedroom home is over 5 years. And what kind of homes are they building? They're building single rooms. They're building student housing, or they're building 1-bedroom places because they could say, "Look at how many flats we've built." Instead, I mean, if you build a 1-bedroom, you can build 3 1-bedrooms and instead of a 3-bedroom. So I'm talking about what happened 25 years ago, 30 years ago. I mean, I got a friend of mine on my estate right here because I'm living on a council estate on my estate, and he was the community representative of the estate, and he said they couldn't get anybody to live in the places 30 years ago. And then Tony Blair, and along came you. I think that's a song. They didn't let people in to fill council houses, you fucking nutcase. They didn't let people in to fill council housing. Who says that? Why don't you think that they did? How do you know for sure? Why am I being a nutcase? I agree, this is just the start of it. Joodles, because I don't think we should have one person owning 100 or thousands of homes. It keeps prices up and restricts liquidity. I mean, for a while, or you don't, yeah, well, why not? Why not? I mean, I'm against it too, 1,000 homes, but, I'm not sure I agree with that, Daz. In the future, the tiny home will be so small it will double as a coffin, Paul Yoward. Very good point. It basically has prevented people from it's prevented family formation. Small little 1-bedroom flats. People are not having children. And the thing that makes them not have children are tiny small bedroom flats. Every single time you see a skyscraper with tiny little flats, not I don't know what you call it in this country, a tower block. It's they don't want you to have kids. And that's what we also discussed yesterday. And I think people got angry at me for that belief too. There used to be a stigma if you lived in a council home. Not anymore. They are like gold. Yeah, because they're dirt cheap and people don't want to pay. They want to pay less money. My neighbor, he was paying £19 a week. And he thought it was too much. Keith Bexley is here. Hello, Keith Bexley. Yeah, I mean, I'm against the council, and I said it yesterday. I didn't make it clear enough. I don't think the council should be allowed to own any homes at all. The council. I don't think the council should be building homes. I don't think the council should be owning homes. Basically, let me turn my phone off. I don't know why my phone is going off. I guess it's 5:15. It's 5:15. Hold on one second. Hold on. I'm getting a message. Yeah. Shalom, Alex. Shalom. Many people have 0 homes and others have hundreds. Until we sort out the market, okay, unless we sort out the market, says Daz, we should restrict home ownership. No, there's a very easy way to sort out the market. Open the market. Open markets. People have been buying their council homes for 35 years and making a tidy profit. They haven't been building more, so obviously there will be a shortage. Of course there'll be a shortage. If you promise everybody that they could buy a council home and pay like next to no rent and then sell it and make money for it. It's like a double benefit. People paying no rent. I know it. I'm living in this flat in this estate. They pay no rent. They pay very little rent. And then they're given a bonus if they could buy the place and make money off of it. And so why should they constantly be building council housing for everybody? but buying hundreds of new builds is fine. They shouldn't be allowed to build new builds. The way you solve the housing crisis is you prevent divorce. You keep families together, and the way you keep families together is if you make men work and you make women not. I'm not saying you make women not work. I'm not sure about that. I'm not. What happened here? What happened here? We could discuss that. We could discuss Prince Andrew too. I've rented private. It's a mug's game. I now rent a council home. It's a nice, clean, cheap, has a good community in the area, and I'm lucky it's small in a rural town. Yeah, that's what everybody dreams of. But then instead they're living in Peckham. In Peckham. I don't trust the council. I mean, the goal of the council was to take away the profit motive. But what makes a country great is the profit motive. It makes people want to add things that the people like. I'm not that way. How much carbs have you had today, Lewis? I suspect. I did not have a fair amount. What I did have, I went and got a. You're right, Keith Bexley. You're totally right. I had a yeah, well, I mean, housing, yeah, Cell Air, they're housing associations, but they were built with our money, and then they were sold, however they were sold off to housing associations. They should be sold off to individuals. Individuals should own apartment buildings, and then if you want to buy an apartment, all these people who don't buy apartments, and they wake up and they're old and they have no money because they never owned their flat, but they were paying discount amount for the flats. I have Keith Bexley. I had half of one of those small pizzas. I cut off the edge, so it worked out to be about 35 grams of carbs. I've had 40 grams of carbs, not counting half a cup of cocoa, of hot cocoa. Claire, mine is a flat too. It's great, nice, and a big ground floor and very nice neighbors. Says I see you. Yeah, I'm not saying these places are not okay places to live, but they're not the best places to live. The best places to live are people owning their own homes, number one. I believe in that. I'm an American. They should own their own homes, number one. Number two is these apartment buildings are really horrific. They're really, really, really horrific because people need space to have families. I happen to know a beautiful rural community within an hour's drive of me who doesn't allow immigrants into council or association properties. It's a little piece of England with beautiful hills. Well, I agree with that too. Why are we building public housing, I mean government housing, to give to people who lived in the country or were war heroes or whatever the excuse was, to foreigners to live here who are going to have 8 kids and the wife is collecting benefits. So I agree with you, Kermit. Paulie, I'm not against landlords, but owning hundreds of homes restricts supply. No, it doesn't. It does kind of restrict supply. It happened in America, but I think that they're backing away from that. It's too much trouble, resulting in more homes needing to be built when the jokes are already there. Daz says, "What do you mean the jokes?" Evening, Lewis. How are you? Kate Gwynn is here. I'm not that good. This is day 3 of argumentative Lewis Schaffer. We're going to lose all of our audience. All the people who've been here because you thought I thought exactly like you. I do think exactly like you. It's the council flats are the way to, it does not help Britain. Council flats. People, it makes us slave to the council. I hate Southwark Council. I'd love to live in Milton Keynes. Elite Elixir. Yeah, why Milton Keynes? My council housing director doubled his annual wage when he set up a housing association to transfer 13,000 properties over to him. Nice work for the boys. Yes, exactly right. Exactly right. We should not have housing associations either. We should not have council housing or housing associations either. In my area, Alex says, near Meridian Water, the Labor Council promised 10,000 homes, but after 5 years, built only 300. Well, why should they build any housing? Like here in Southwark, they're building houses on parks, on green spaces. And if they don't, out in the countryside, they're going to build them on fields where cows graze, which is what Lewis's dinner is. I've owned nice homes in the past, says I see. You had awful neighbors. Boy racers, loud garden barbecues, DIY noises, and nasty gossip. Yeah, and then you move. You move. You know, I mean, this is the luck of the draw. The luck of the draw. Labor are building 100,000 homes. They say that, but what difference does it make if they're owned by one person or one company? Pointless building them. People are still living in those 100,000 homes. Exactly. Well, so Daz is against the council owning them because the council is a person, kind of, or a company, kind of. I lived in Portugal for 5 years, was permanently drunk. Happy days. Happy days. I think, Kate Gwynn, I think many ways of this country are wrong, and the state providing everything for everyone is wrong. Exactly. They want to keep us poor, so you don't own your home. So when you get sick, they say, oh, we'll put you in a care home. Okay? Which is horrible living in a care home. Horrible for most people, I would assume. Banning mortgages is the number one priority. Immigration is also there too. Mortgages are a brilliant thing. It means people don't have to come up with the money to buy a home. They can get a home. I guess maybe mortgages are bad. I'll have to think about it. Oh, why is this thing on my phone on? Why is this thing on? There we go. I turned it off. I didn't turn it off. Last 2 weeks. I love it when you are grumpy, Lorna says. Get on grumpy old men. Last 2 weeks they've had women on. Well, I'm not grumpy. I'm giving an actual analytical view of what's wrong with this country. I've lived here for 25 years. Who is living in them? That's the question. We know the new houses who they're going to. Yes. So the council's going to be building houses that are going to go to, to immigrants into the community because we want easy eats to come to our houses easier. The problem is not houses or owns them, says No Hunter. When it comes to the council debate, it's that they are stuffing them with non-working, crime-committing aliens that also hate the country. Probably it's true. But let's say we didn't have immigrants coming into the country, which I believe immigrants coming into the country come from council housing. So I blame council housing for that. But let's say there were no immigrants. The fact is that these council houses are bad for your community. Overpopulation is bad. I figured out that in geography at school. Yeah. So what are they doing? They're just Keith Bexley. What are they doing? They're just bringing tons and tons of people into the country. Daz is on the mortgages, a financial cancer. Give it a think and let me know, considering how much it is spent on mortgage interest, and if it props up the price. What's propped up the price in this country is the main thing is divorce. Is everybody wants their own little home. That's one of the things that I believe has propped up the price. Makeshift is here. I can't believe they stuck them in hotels near Wembley Stadium. Now, Wembley Stadium. Where's the punctuation? Makeshift. Let's get punctuation going. I can't believe they stuck them in hotels near Wembley Stadium. Period. Now the boat people? Question mark? I don't know what that means. I used to love taking the MK roundabouts at 60 miles per hour, says Paul Yoward. Dave Toby is here. Rupert Lowe for Prime Minister. I mean, I don't know. Digimedia did a good DJ video on YouTube about it. About what? About what, Makeshift? About what? About what? What did they do? I don't know. Let's get punctuation. Let's make sure that we write something that we know what we're talking about. I know what you are talking about. I nearly got a job at Open University, even. Period. But went to York instead as the interviewer in Milton Keynes was a bit intense. Okay, I'm glad you told us that, Paul. It's really important that you told us that. DJ Media. Where's the punctuation, Makeshift? Let's get punctuation in there. Can you write that again with punctuation? One of the problems with old council estates was a concentration of undesirables in one place. Allowing people to buy them did change the nation of the estates and largely solve that problem. Look at me. Look at how I've changed this little section here. And the guy across the way also owns it, and he's lovely. The guy in the middle, I mean, he was a nice guy. And the people here, they're never here. For a year they've been gone. They were given your house, your council house. The council spent £300,000 to buy a home, to give it to somebody. And they're never even here. I think they're in Spain. I haven't seen them. Right next door. Yeah, people buying stuff is nice. Home ownership is important. When you own your own home, you're going to take better care of it. Andrew Rubin is here. Toxic Goy Hole. I wasn't on live chat, so if I missed anything that people said. I've probably missed something. There's Toxic Goy Hole up there. Not everyone has hit the like button. Very disappointing in the chat. Show your support for Lewis and slap the button. That is really nice. I've completely missed it here. Is Makeshift going to rewrite the DJ Media thing so I can see it? That's what I'm led to believe, Kermit. And it was Labor who started giving them to those people instead of families. Yeah. They used to build homes for families, and now they build them for single women who might have one kid. And then they say, well, they're not big enough for one kid. People have an investment in what they buy, Kate Gwynn, and are more likely to care for it. Not everyone, though. True, not everyone. But most people, you own something, you're going to care for it. Maltese Phil, he spanked the like button. Thank you for spanking the like button. I said loads, but it's okay. What did you say? I missed what you said. You got to remind me to go to live chat. DJ Media did a video on YouTube, and the hotel people were throwing stones at him. What is DJ Media? What does that mean? What is DJ Media? But thank you very much, Makeshift. I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody who's here, Daz and Maltese Phil and Kate Gwynn. And hit the like button. I do appreciate that tremendously. I appreciate that. Labor are planning to triple the cost of gas in the coming year. This would force people to ground heat pumps, which cost for the moment over $7,000 to install, all to satisfy net zero aspirations. Yes, this country is going to go bankrupt because of net zero. I don't believe in climate change, and I'm totally against net zero, even if there was climate change. So that's another thing that you can hate me for. I hate the belief in climate change. What do you hate the belief in climate change? But thank you very much for reminding me not to have carbs. Thank you very much. Lots and lots of places smell like piss. I often smell dog, Lorna says. Yeah, because, back in the day, people used to care about their little front gardens. They used to care. They wouldn't throw stuff in the street. because it was their home. And now they're renting the home from the biggest renter in the world, Southwark Council, Communist Southwark Council. Communist Southwark Council. I'm sorry for talking like this. Prince Andrew caught something for a toxic coal. It was taken down in evidence after he took down his... I don't know. I'm not even going to figure that out. I don't mind the council giving people a leg up in the property ladder. It helps all around. But they could continue that by building more and more council homes. Yeah, no, they cannot. It just creates their slum builders, Kermit. I'm sorry. I'm against the council owning things, building things, buying things. They think they know what's best. They're government clerks. They're clerks. Southwark Council, all the councils. I just got back from a charity shop. They don't take books or DVDs anymore. I'm shocked, says Darklands. How about some punctuation? More punctuation. I just got back from the charity shop, period, or full stop. Capital, they don't take books or DVDs anymore, period. I'm shocked. That's what we do here. How can you not like Lewis and his pure, open conversations? He isn't afraid to talk about anything and give his honest opinion. Even if I disagree with him, I support him. He is honest. I'd like to believe that I'm honest. I don't think I'm that honest. I mean, I sit here thinking, why am I telling people what I'm telling them when I know that all you people, most people, love council housing? It's like, it's one of those great lies of this country. Council housing is amazing. The NHS. Where would we be without the NHS? The royal family. These are the lies of Britain. The people are the best. The people, but the institutions more and more. The Commonwealth War Graves Commission, the labor-led councils. Garbage. The only market is a free market. Kate Gwynn. The market sorts itself out. Well, I am with you, Kate Gwynn. Lewis Schaffer agrees with you, Kate Gwynn. And if you try to regulate the market, the regulators turn corrupt. I am with you, Kate Gwynn. Kate Gwynn is the best thing about this country. And when I say this country, I'm including Wales as part of this country. All of the resources provided for people generally came about after the war. They are no longer fit for purpose. Yeah, the country, you took the money that America loaned you at 2% interest. At least Lewis is honest about being dishonest. I mean, I try to be honest. I try to be as honest as I can as a diversionary tactic. Thank you, Paul. Lewis, haven't you used the NHS quite a lot, though? Yes, I've used it a lot. When my nose was broken, they fixed my nose. Okay? When I go for tests, they give me tests. Have I used it for any other thing? No, because I don't take the pills that they give me, basically. Yeah, the NHS is rubbish. I'm sorry, it's rubbish. If you want to be healthy, you've got one choice. Basically, the choice is you eat properly, a meat diet. You do not eat carbs or toxic seed oils. You look at the people who are working at the NHS. They're all fat fucks. So many of them are fat fucks. I shouldn't talk like that. They're nice people. They're British people, but they're wrong. They're wrong. With cancer, you get cancer. Oh, I need the NHS for cancer. So what do? They give you radiation, which causes more cancer. They give you chemotherapy, which causes irritation, which causes inflammation. You can't trust these people. GB News is making a meal of Andrew's arrest, Janet. Beautiful Janet. In what way, Lewis? How much would it cost you in the States? What? For anything that's happened to me? It would cost less money. It would cost money, but I'd be richer if I was in the States. Americans are richer, 40 to 50% richer than people in this country. So they have their own money to pay for their inadequate healthcare system. You think the healthcare system in America is so great? It's better here because it's free here. It's in America, you have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. 2 of my kids work in the NHS. Of course they do. They've got millions of employees, millions of people. Janet says, yeah, God bless them for working there. I've met some nice people there. Do they help? They told me you're taking too much vitamin D. And now everybody knows you're supposed to take a ton of vitamin D. If you eat oh my God, I'm getting horrible. Can I apologize? I'm apologizing to you. I shouldn't apologize. I should be like more understanding. Oh, the NHS is so wonderful. Lewis, the NHS, according to Kermit, isn't the only choice. People are welcome to go private. You think rich folks bother waiting for an NHS GP appointment? No, they don't. But do you think that they're being treated? Do you think their treatment is any better? Rich people when they go private, because everybody goes private. Half the people go private in America, and it's not healthy. The American medical system is as bad as this system is here. Lewis, you're on fire tonight. This is why I come to the stream. But I lose people. I lost Lucy. Lucy said she's not going to come back because I'm horrible. This is what she said. She said, Lewis, I know. So don't knock the free NHS. The NHS is a babysitting service. If you get sick, you can go to the hospital and they can put you in a ward and they can do what you want to do. That's what the NHS is. Is it free? It's not. Yeah, it's free. It's free. The bank we're back on the mortgage thing. I don't think anybody's agreeing with you. You're not horrible, Lewis. Thank you, Claire. Claire is so lovely. She's so lovely. Never apologize, Lewis. Whenever someone apologizes, the cancellation culture mob jump on it. Yeah, well, I'm not apologizing for what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm making a mistake, but I'm saying, I don't know, maybe you want a happy, healthy, loving, calm, not yelling Lewis Schaffer. Maybe that's what you want. Maybe you want to believe that I believe everything that you guys believe. And some of you I do, and some of you I don't. Excuse of a nurse at the hospital the other day for her inability to pronounce English, she was from Nigeria. I said, but you are in England now, so I am marked now as a bigot. Yeah. I mean, it's because the NHS has been captured. NHS means National Homicide Service now, says John Van Dam. If I get the big C, we'll be following a Warburg theory. Yes, I believe. Otto Warburg. Yes. It's like the doctors are the last to know about this shit. Thomas Seyfried, Dr. Thomas Seyfried. Yes, everybody, if you get cancer, Warburg. But you get seen quicker going private, and treatment is usually the same. Yeah, but what is the treatment? Does the treatment work? Does the anti-cancer treatment work? If you're in the hospital and they're giving you, hold on, and you're in the hospital and they're giving you a great big plate of pasta, which helps you with the cancer. John Van Dam agrees with me on this. You want cancer? Have a donut. You want cancer to grow? Get fat. You want cancer? Bowls of pasta. I will never apologize for the offense that someone takes in words I have chosen to use. Right, but I want you, all you people, to stay and listen to me. I don't want you to leave me. I'd like to be a huge success. I think I'm doing quite well now. But at one point when I started this thing, I was thinking maybe we can get 100,000, maybe we can get 1 million. And so I don't want to drive anybody away. I went private for my operation. It was very quick. I waited 4 years on the NHS. Yeah, says Darklands. Yes. But a lot of these operations are not necessary. They're not necessary. I would say 90%. Most, if you go on a low carb diet, you will not need operations until you're old, whatever. And even then, I can't hear what British people say, let alone foreigners. Very embarrassing. I myself, my hearing is not as good as it used to be. Maybe that's why Lorna, I'm screaming. The best thing about this country are you. Are you? You British people, the best thing. Your institutions have been, they're not working. They're not working. I shouldn't even say that. I think private appointments and treatments are better, Kate Quinn. I just spent $1,000 and got top-level service outside the NHS. What was the matter? We can discuss any type of illness, and I'll say, you wasted your money. Act crazy in the waiting room. The NHS puts you in to see a doctor as soon as possible. Yes. Well, every business is like that. You act crazy, they're going to treat you better. Thank you, Lilith. Kate Gwynn, Paul Cow. Yes, another nurse pronounced thick blood. Hold on a second, hold on. Thick blood. And I asked, what tick? What is tick? She called me a racist. Yeah. What can you do about that? That's another issue entirely. If you go to this council, if you go any place, that question is going to be there. I was impressed by private, period. It's just obviously costly. Well, what are these things? It's like you have to wait in line to maybe have your corneas removed, right? Whatever it is. When you have, what is the thing with the eyes? My father had that thing. Not macular degeneration, but could be that too. All the medical things. If you just stop eating carbs, and I have to stop eating carbs, I had half of a pizza. I'll bring the thing in so you can see it. This is what I had. This is what I had. £1.50. Can you see it? £1.50. Can you see how small that is? That's a small little pizza. I had half of the pizza, and then you see the crust around the end. I push the cheese into the middle, and I cut the crust off. Thank you, Maltese Phil, for the joke. Thank you, Maltese Phil. Thank you, Maltese Phil. When I had my chemo, I only drank bottled water. Yeah. I mean, why? Because why only bottled water? Chartel is here. Beautiful Chartel. Where is Joodles? How come Joodles doesn't say anything? Why don't you say something, Joodles? Okay, where are we here? The only time I went private was for breast augmentation. Go. Thank you, Chartel. I've just made a note with a little star. Chartel. Okay, sorry about that. You've got a car brain, Lewis. Yes. It wasn't that much. It was I've had 40 grams of carbs today. I've had 1,300. What is a snedging? What does that mean, a snedging? Lorna. The trick is to get referred to a private clinic that also do NHS work. The best of both worlds. I mean, yeah, but the NHS, they're all the same doctors, aren't they? All the same doctors. It's just a question of how long it takes to get in there. Don't eat carbs, but eat frozen pizza. Yeah. I mean, are you going to say to me, oh, you're a hypocrite, you're this, you're that? The truth is, I'm a hypocrite. We get foreign visitors come out of the hours, come 2 out of hours doctors. They ask, what's the charge? And they are amazed that we don't charge for consultation or meds. Our company gets the money from the NHS, though. So we're basically subsidizing foreign visitors. Foreign visitors, you know. Um, what is the NHS? What are doctors in general good at? If you've got a cut, they could sew it up for you. If you've broken a bone, they could put you in a cast. If you've been put on fire, they can maybe soothe the burns. That's what they're good for. Everything else is shit. A lot of NHS doctors do private work. Caroline Cooper is here. I have met Caroline Cooper, and she is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. A round of applause for Caroline Cooper. And Chartel has new boobs. I might do that. Don't do that. You don't need to do that. Nobody needs to do boobs, but if you do, I'll still love you. I still love you. You must stay in your angelic state, Claire. Yes, you don't need to do boob jobs. Nobody needs that. Nobody, but I still love you, Chartel. Nurses are good for TikTok dancing. Yes, we saw the videos. They was in the hospital when they were lying about COVID. Do you remember the NHS lying about COVID? The most important thing is you need honest doctors. And the NHS has proven that they were lying, that they're liars. Am I right? Are you going to argue with that? That they're liars. They lied about COVID. They made everybody afraid. Everybody's outside in my street here applauding those people. What did they do? They're being paid and they didn't die. I know someone who worked for the NHS chiropodist. They would pay for translators for people. Keith Bexley says, yeah, there's money, the waste. I'm against wasted money. We should be against wasted money because it's our money. It's not their money. They just arrived yesterday. They didn't build this country up to be great, but they're knocking it down to be horrible. I want new boobs. I guess I do OnlyFans to get the money. Okay, I'm making a note with Lilith too and Claire. These are the hot girls, Lilith and Claire. I'm making a note of this. Janet says, I've been waiting nearly 4 months for a second cataract removal. Private hospital, but through the NHS. I only got one eye. Need glasses, but until it's done, can't get sorted. Yeah, I mean, it may be too late, but I'm telling everyone out there, if you eat carbs, you will need cataract removal surgery. Carbs cause eye damage. They cause macular degeneration. They cause needing cataract operations. I don't even know what the difference is. My mother had that. She told me about it. I was like, I didn't know what the hell she was talking about. What lies? I was working in critical care during COVID. Yeah, bring people in who've got the flu and put them on a ventilator and kill them. Is that what you didn't do that, Carolyn? You're too lovely to have done that. You are right. The NHS has sod all to do. They give the poor old people poison and killed them off and said it was COVID. I'm with you, Lorna. They murdered the people. Those medications murdered the people. The ventilators that they put down people's throats murdered the people. Okay? And making people worried. Preventing people from seeing their families. Horrible, horrible. Toxic carbohydrates cause diabetes also. Yes, that's true. Yes, it's true. Diabetes, cataracts are a symptom of diabetes. Toxic oil. I saw my doctor today for penis enlargement, says Alan Williams. She was more obliging than I expected, but it's worn off now. I can't read these things. I laugh at them, but I can't read them. NHS were cowards in COVID, says Selaire. Booting out the elderly into care homes to die was a national disgrace. Never forget, never forgive the NHS murderers. Oh my God, I'm going to be kicked out of the country. I can feel it. I'm going to be eventually they'll discover what I'm saying and they'll say that I'm a horrible person. What the hell am I doing here? What am I doing here? You shouldn't have let me into the country. I'm not changing my boobs, says Joe. Not being braggy, but they were the talk of South back in the day. I'm writing that down, Joe. I'm writing that down. I'm writing that down. Am I wrong because I'm flirting with all you women? Or not, I'm not flirting with you. I am Googling over all you women. COVID was the biggest psyop ever. Exactly. And who orchestrated it? The NHS. They orchestrated. They didn't orchestrate, but they were a prime force in there. Yes, they were. The biggest psyop. Shortell says, yeah, like I said, they murdered my dad, says Shortell. They murdered my dad. You forget the amount of horrible, horrible pain. I feel for you, Shortell. You're talking nonsense. Well, it's not just me talking. Look at Lewis said this. Look at Shortell said this. Caroline Cooper, the NHS has a minus grade for COVID. How many times are you going to bitch about that, Lewis? It was a horrible time. We were all miserable, but it's over now. I'm tired of hearing it. All right, well, you just have to put up with it. Just turn the thing off and find another thing. This is my thing. It is not over now because they want to do it with something else. Monkeypox, bird flu, whatever it is. They are going to do it again. And when you believe in germ theory, you let them take advantage of you. Okay, no, Hunter, I'm sorry if you don't like hearing it. Wow, I didn't know that. What didn't you know? What didn't you know? I forgot. Every time I hear of COVID, I think of my poor dad. Yeah. I think of just the fear, the masks, everything closed. It was such a depressing time. Okay. I was with one of the docs last week and I was surprised when he said ventilation was a disaster. Most of them won't talk about it. Yeah, they won't. Most doctors won't talk about it. You know why? You know why that is, Vont and I? Because doctors, in order to become a doctor, you've got to basically play by the rules for years and years and years. And by the time you're done playing by the rules, you don't know anything else but the rules. But ventilation was murder, was murder, was murder. And I remember I said this back in the day. And that how bad COVID was. And the amount of people who hated on me, who hated me. Like you might hate me because it's boring or something, but these people hated me because they thought I was killing their fucking grandmother when the NHS was killing their effing grandmother, when the drug companies were killing their horrible, it's horrible, and grandfather too. Going private is better than the NHS. Those nurses at the bordello get you healed with their suspenders and mini dresses. Paul, can we be nice? We've got lots of nice girls here. Chartel agrees with Vont and I won't let them deport you, Lewis, says Toxic Oil. We can do a Chuck and Larry to keep you here if push comes to shove. I mean, it'll be bad because I'll say that I'm sorry and you'll lose respect for me because I'll say, please keep me in the country. I won't say it again because I'm a coward. You know I'm a coward. I won't let, okay, but thank you, Toxic Goy-Hole. I've heard that. Vatanai, yeah. Yeah, ventilation was a disaster. I heard it. They knew it was a disaster, but they were kept on doing ventilation. They kept on doing it. You know what else is another disaster for ventilation? CPAP machines. I had one of those for like 4 years. It pushed air in, which raises your blood pressure, makes you crazy. Okay, there we go. What about Matt Hancock's leaked WhatsApp discussing making up variants? He should be in jail with Andrew. Instead, he went on I'm a celeb, get me out of here. That's right. And the divs voted for him. Yes, murderer. Yes, Matt Hancock, evil. What's his name? You know, they were all evil back then. Peter Hitchens was not evil. He was good. Matt Hancock, you're right about Matt Hancock, John Van Dam. Thank you. Thank you. I think we've combined COVID with the NHS. I don't know where this thing is. I don't want to seem obnoxious, but I'm sure others probably tired of the ghost chasing regarding COVID. It was a bad time for all. Feel free to go off though. I am free. I am free. You're free to leave. I'm free to talk. You know, I mean, I do listen to you, so I'm not completely free, whatever you mean by that. But the truth is, we need to let people know that the NHS lied about COVID. And if the NHS lied about, and that they should live in fear that they're going to be arrested. The inquiry was a money-wasting whitewash. They are admitting nothing exactly. And how much did it cost? It cost Kermit. It cost millions. The inquiry. Next one to come: climate lockdowns. Mark my words. Yeah, they're going to want yeah. They want to kill us. They don't want us to get around. Bill Gates is the representation of evil in this world. The trouble is nobody in the UK wants to work in NHS because it's a bad institution to work for. I agree with that, Kate Gwynn. I don't even want to walk in there, let alone work for the thing. You know? And I'm at King's College Hospital. I'm with you. I don't know if people don't want to. Lewis, you didn't kill my Nana. The NHS removed food and water from her, then gave her an overdose of a drug they won't talk about honestly. Yeah, to ease the pain. Secret euthanasia. Well, they believe in euthanasia. The left. Every one of those people who works at the NHS are a bunch of left-wing globalist communists. Midazolam. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Midazolam. Selaire says, yeah. Yeah, Midazolam Matt. He was the guy who gave that out, right? Apparently, there's loads of British people not being employed by the NHS yet. Yeah, well, how many people work for the NHS? 2 million people or some huge amount of number. That's money that's wasted. If you want to save yourself, you do not go to the NHS. If you want to save this country, you do not go to the NHS. The NHS is too woke, says Lorna. Peter Hitchens is fabulous. Yes, he is. I met him. He's fabulous. The cringe footage of Matt Hancock copping off during lockdown. Yeah. Oh, he's allowed to get away with it because he knew it was bull. Didn't he know it was bull? Joe Warrior. NHS is too woke. Okay, says Lorna. But Joe says, yeah, we saw him kissing somebody, but we're not allowed to go out. What is the psyop with Andrew? What are we not seeing now? That's a really good question, Lilith. I don't know. There is a psyop. Maybe it's to get at King Charles. Maybe because there's a lot of resentment for the royal family in this country among the working people. And they want to see the royal family go down. I don't know. What do you think it is? We can see your boobs. You can see, where's my boobs? Here? I weigh 77.2 kilograms today. I mean, yeah. Can you see it? Does it look? Oh, this. This. Is that what you're talking about, Alex? Kate Gwynn. Also, the NHS sponsors foreign workers because they are less likely to leave because their visa goes with employment. They are like legal slaves. Yeah, evil. The more you know about these people, the less you like them. And I've spent a lot of time there. I never thought about it. It was, okay, you're giving me pills. Thank you very much. And then when I lost all the weight that I had, because now I look so beautiful. Except for maybe I need to, that's, I don't know. Also, Kate Quinn says, yeah, they're legal slaves. The NHS are hiring legal slaves and they're bringing people into the country, and that means your kid can't go to school to be a nurse. Your kid can't go to school to be a doctor because they're bringing in, and it hurts the country that they're living in. Oh, I'm too much. I'm too much. If you deny someone a ventilator support, you deny them a chance. They are seriously ill. I know you believe that, okay? The fact is 97% of people put on the ventilator died. Died. That's basically you're killing them. You're denying them a chance. Yeah, it's like the same thing with chemo. It's going to save someone's life. It isn't. Radiation. It's going to save somebody's life. It isn't. It's going to make somebody rich. Somebody at some Swiss American Israeli company who makes the machine. No. So you should deny. Right. They didn't want to do it because they're a doctor and they want to. I mean, I've met enough doctors. I grew up with doctors. I am a white middle class Jewish man from an upper middle class community. People were doctors all the time. They were all the time, and look. Neil Stone on Twitter. Anyway. Lewis, get Rupert Lowe's tweet up today about COVID. It's an interesting read. Okay. I like to be told to get a thing up. I like this show to be more multi-dimensional. Hey everybody, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. So let's go over here. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. And let's look for this. Let's look for Rupert Lowe. Rupert Lowe. COVID. Okay. Restore Britain's policy on lockdowns is clear. It was the darkest time in recent British history. Can you see this? Hold on. Let me see if I can make this larger. For some, COVID was a dangerous disease. The full power of the state should have been deployed to protect those people, the elderly, the vulnerable, instead of spending hundreds of billions. Okay. If we could shut the country down, we could have protected millions of youngsters. My kids had their, bad times especially my son number 2. He's just getting over it. Lives were destroyed for what? To avoid getting a nasty cough. Sweden was right. Tegnell was right. We should have followed their lead. A Restore Britain government should take steps to reverse the damage as much as possible. All criminal convictions for violent breaches of lockdown rules would be overturned and quashed. Nobody will have a criminal record for breaking laws that should never have existed in the first place. I am with this guy. Every related fine will be refunded. I am Rupert Lowe. Restore Britain's MP will issue a formal statement and an apology from Parliament, recognizing the damage lockdown caused to families. The British state got it wrong. We will admit that. Tax breaks. Oh my God, it's a whole long thing here. Vaccine passport 666. The most evil. Okay. I mean, I can't read all of that. That's like amazing. Thank you, Cellair, for that. That was brilliant. Thank you, Cellair. Or should I leave it up here and you guys can read it on your own? Yeah, that's really brilliant. Chartel says she hasn't seen it either. My little boob. You're talking about my boobs. Is that what you're talking about? My boobs. Hancock. Oh, hold on a second. We're a little bit behind in the stream. Oh my God, we're a bit behind in the stream. Nigel Farage and Rupert Farage are in a bare-knuckle fighting contest in a bar in Somerset, broadcast live on YouTube. I think Lowe would tear him. I don't know, because it's like Nigel Farage will do anything to win. Will do anything to win. That's like amazing. I'm gonna go to the top. My uncle spent the last 2 years of his life in solitary confinement. Poor darling. This is what Lorna says. Yeah, horrible, horrible stuff. Horrible, horrible, horrible stuff. Joe, my dad was my best friend. COVID took him, and because of that, he never got a funeral, just a straight cremated. No family there. I went to one. Yeah, yeah. And you couldn't catch it. You can't even catch the flu. You know, this whole thing, they just go to Sam Bailey. Sam Bailey. I'm going to find Sam Bailey. Sam Bailey, Dr. Sam Bailey, flu. And you read this thing, flu transmission. Oh, this is 4 years ago. This is the latest report about this. Hold on one second. There you go. You want to know about flu. You can't catch flu. It is not infectious. Or whatever, the way people think about infection, like a little spot of something gets in you and causes you to start coughing and everything. You know, it isn't that way. It isn't that way. Can you see this thing? This is this guy, this woman here. She's brilliant. I've just brought Sam Bailey's book. I love her. She's great, and she's a woman, and I'm supposed to be a misogynist, but she's great. How if I get so many sick, then if you can't get the flu, you can get sick, but you're not catching a sickness. You're not like a healthy person, and then suddenly you catch a little germ and you're all sick. That's the answer to that question. No, Hunter. You can catch whatever that sickness is where you're coughing and sneezing and you're congested, whatever. But you're not catching it because somebody next to you is coughing. Somebody next to you hasn't washed his hands or whatever it is. So there you go. We need to take the governments down, pissed off. They are killing people with lies. They are killing people with lies. But we have to believe the lie. And so it's semantics, getting a cold. No, it's not semantics. I am saying that a tiny little bit of somebody else's DNA or whatever, some other kind of DNA or whatever this flu thing is, which does not exist, is not going to make you sick. What's going to make you sick is you haven't had enough vitamin D, that you haven't been out in the sun enough, that you haven't been eating red meat and raw eggs. Rupert is our last hope, says Andrew Rubin. But you just watch the establishment and mainstream media go after him. They will throw the kitchen sink at him. Keep faith in him. He is true and a good man. Well, what we just read here was great. Was great about him. Was great about Rupert Lowe. How does a person catch flu then? You do not catch a flu. It isn't like, and the exact same thing with the Spanish flu epidemic. The exact same thing. They did these tests with the Spanish flu people. What the Spanish flu was young people exhausted and sick from being in war, from not sleeping, from eating bad food. They got sick. It's not about you catch it. There's no catching any of this stuff. This is what I believe. I'm sorry I believe this thing. I'm sorry. You could say, you know what? I used to listen to Lewis Schaffer. He was a nut. But they found out he was right about this and right about this. Or maybe I'm not. I hope I am right about it. Never mind. I've not had flu for 25 years and had no vaccines. Why haven't I had it? Does it exist? You being sick means you're healthy. Healthy people do not get sick. Sick people get sick. The fact you haven't had the flu for 25 years tells me, Kate Gwynn, you are a healthy, healthy, healthy person. If you constantly getting the flu, it means you're not eating a proper diet. Rupert is an absolute G. He's saying all the things that most of us have been thinking for years. Yes, and that's what Donald Trump did eventually. And that's what you need to do to be a revolutionary leader. The UK was 700 billion in debt at the COVID time. Now closer to 3 trillion debt. COVID was theft, a transfer of wealth. Exactly right, Cellaire. I'm with Cellaire. I remember talking to Chinese Elvis, and he got like so upset at me because I said to him that when you print money, you're going to have inflation. And I didn't say that inflation was theft, but it is theft. It's destroying the money that people have. If someone is vulnerable, they are more likely to catch flu. You can say that over and over again, Caroline Cooper. And just remember one thing. When I am talking to you, Caroline Cooper, I love you. Okay? But you cannot catch a flu. The way they figured that thing out is like completely erroneous. You can't catch a flu. You can develop a flu because you haven't been in the sun, and the sun in England is so low. And if you see the chart, there's very little flu in the sunniest places in the world, along the equator. I only had the flu once when I was little, a long time ago. But what is the difference between a flu and a cold? How is inflation theft if wealth degrades for us all? Because it elevates the price of things, and people who own stuff, hard assets, they get their assets go up in price. But we who own nothing because we're living in council stupid flats, we're screwed. We're screwed. So if you own bicycles, they will go up in value. If you own a home or homes, if you own a business, it will go up in value. But if you're a worker making 10 pounds an hour, okay, and the next year you're also making 10 pounds an hour, but everything costs 11 pounds, you've lost a pound. That's the answer to that question. The NHS is like a religion. Rip it, and people get upset. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, I wasn't born with the NHS. So I don't feel bad. I don't have this deep-hearted belief in the NHS. So that's why I say what I say. Spain wasn't involved in World War II. So why did its flu start there? It didn't start there. It didn't start anywhere. It came. It just developed all over. They think it started in Kansas, but it was at too many places at the exact same time. That's one of the other reasons why it wasn't caused. It wasn't caused. Okay? Why did flu... I'm answering you the question, Alan. It was... People got sick all at the same time. Why? Because there was war all over the place at the exact time. And it was like wintertime, too. I honestly believe these symptoms are lack of vitamin D. And your body is doing a yearly detox, and it's really good. And if you really have a really good immune system, says John Van Dam, even a sniffle, it is a mild detox from polluted air, bad food, bad drink. So you're basically saying having the flu is good for you because it's like a detox, or you're saying there's just too much bad stuff in your system. Yeah, well, probably it's a way of dealing with it. And then what do? We have a fever, so we try to bring down the fever when the fever is a part of the detox, John Van Dam. So there you go. Lewis said it's inflation, so that's why I'm asking about inflation. Well, somebody mentioned about inflation. I'm answering the inflation thing. I'm still kind of late believing, fate believing. Some men jog, are healthy, and drop down dead at 40, and some men drink and smoke until they're in their 90s. No logic. There is a logic to that. You have not been listening to Lewis Schaffer, Lorna. There is a logic. I mean, sorry, Joe. You haven't been listening. The fact is that just because if you eat a high-carb diet and you run, you can get muscles and you can feel like you're healthy. But the carbs are causing calcification and make you die. Okay? And then smoking, you can smoke, but if you eat a low-carb diet, the smoking may not be that bad for you. The cancer may not grow because the sugar causes the cancer growth, Lorna. So it does make sense. So it was called the Spanish flu because they were not in the war, so it was censored. I forgot what the reason is, Lorna, why it's called the Spanish flu. You know, it started almost at once. And back in the day, they didn't have jet flights. So there were people dying at the exact same time in New York and in Sydney, Australia, and in Europe, and in boats in England, and in wherever. Okay, so, and there were certain places that didn't get it at all. You know, inflation reduces the value of your money without being apparent to you. I suppose that's theft. Yes, it is theft, Daz. Well, you're talking about mortgages. It's like, yeah. Mr. Lewis Schaffer is not a qualified medical practitioner. I'm not. I'm proud to say I have not been to medical school. I am proud to say that. I am not an NHS doctor. I am proud to say that. I'm not any kind of doctor, even in America. So everything he says about disease, virus, or infection is for the fairies. You could maybe it's for the fairies, but at least the fairies have a view of a different truth reality. The Spanish flu did start in America. They say it didn't start anywhere. It's just somebody puts a name on it, and it's like that's something. The reason they called the Spanish flu was because the neutral Spain had no issues reporting it, where the countries involved in World War I refused to lose morale and didn't report it. I've been told this is the best show ever just now, and I want to thank you, the person who said that to me. Ciao. Oh, Avril Rutherford is here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Avril Rutherford. I had flu, which developed suddenly at work and felt weakness. I had to go home and rest and drink fluids. Yes, and I would suggest, and Lewis Schaffer, who is not a medical doctor, I'm suggesting to you people, if you catch something that's the flu, you should get as warm as possible. You should go into the bath and warm your body up. You should lie down. You should go out in the sun and get as warm as possible. But Avril, I hope you feel better. I love you, Avril Rutherford. Bring back Spanish flu so we can all detox. You make that's a joke. I don't know. I don't know if having a cold is detox, but it could be a way of dealing with schmutz, which is what I believe causes illness. One of the things. How are you proud to not have gone through any medical training and then proceed to lecture everyone on medical matters? That's just glorified shitposting. Maybe it is, or maybe I've seen enough information, and maybe I develop a theory, and maybe my theory is right. Maybe you don't need to go to medical school to develop a theory. And Einstein himself, who I think is an idiot, Einstein said, I forget what he says about it, but it all comes from theory. You cannot have something without theory. I find Hall's extra strong helps to clear most respiratory stuff. You know what? You may think it does, but the fact is that you think, oh my God, my nose is clogged with stuff. It's not clogged with stuff. It's just swollen. It's swollen. It's irritated, causes inflammation. It's inflammation. So I would say, don't take that stuff. Lewis, I listen, Joe says. So the healthy running, no alcohol, no fags 40-year-old dies due to carbs, and the bad smoking and drinking 90-year-old who eats no carbs lives. I know you don't believe it. I'm telling you, this is what I believe. This is what I'm trying to live my life low carb. I believe that. What do you believe? You can say, Lewis, you're full of shit. What's his name just said I was full of shit. Gnome Hunter says I'm full of shit. You could say I'm full of shit. A first class ticket to Nottingham, please. What are you saying, Kermit? All messages and top messages. It's so annoying. What are you saying, Daz? I don't see what you've written lately. Does anyone believe in me? Myalgic ensomyelitis. Well, I'm going to tell you something, Kate Quinn. Every time I see an itis, I think carbs. Itises are all irritation. Psoriasis, arthritis, myelite, whatever it is are irritations. Lewis, inflammation causes the production of mucus. That's real. Can, but mucus doesn't block people's stuff, so you can't breathe. What's blocking the stuff is the swollenness of the thing. I don't believe in mucus. I'm not a believer in that. My son's father-in-law has that. Very painful. Very painful. Well, let's see what it says about it. I'm going to tell you what you should stop doing. You should stop being on the carbs. Everything is carbs. You can say, you know what it is you know the answer to these questions. It could also be like a bullshit illness, a psychological illness. Let's go up here. Brain fog, critical post-exertional malaise, where minimal activities cause severe delayed symptoms. There is no cure, with prognosis varying, but 25% of patients are bedbound. The ME. And you know what? The problem, and I'm gonna make an enemy here. I remember somebody saying, I remember telling a joke about this. I was at a show and they said, I have ME. And I would say, I have YOU. I have my YOU. 1980, it's been around. My guess is it's bullshit. It's bullshit. But let's go look for carbs. Carbs. Low GI carbs, whole grains, for steady energy and avoid fucking bullshit. Let's go see. And diabetes and elevated blood sugar. Let's see what it says. Unstable blood sugar regulation, often due to adrenal stress, insulin resistance, which is diabetes. Risk of developing type 2 diabetes. I'm sorry. Medical school was funded by the Rockefellers, who also fund Big Pharma. I remember the PCR test was false positive. The NHS went along with it. I reckon. Okay. Did we jump ahead, Lewis? That's kind of what I meant, but the nicest way. Don't get mad at me. It's my opinion. I'm not mad at you. The only people I get mad at are people who said, you said something I don't like. And I'm not going to listen to you anymore. That's the only people I get mad at. When people stop listening to their nans and listen to their doctors, we all got less healthy and doctors got rich. Correlation isn't causation, but it sure looks dodgy to me. Yeah, I would say I agree with that, toxic goy-ho. What I am saying is 20,000 extra deaths per year post-vax. Definitely not correlation. It's causation. You cannot Google health conditions like that, though. You need to research it properly. No, you can, because the answer, I'm not listening to Google about this, because Google is owned and bought for by Big Pharma. Most of us are bought by Big Pharma. The truth is, oh my God, the truth is, what is the truth? The truth is that if you go local, I had so many problems myself. I couldn't get out of bed. My feet were killing me. I had gout. I had plantar fasciitis. I had frozen shoulder, trigger finger. I had rotten teeth. I had tooth decay. I had retinopathy. My eyes were going bad. I had full body psoriasis. I had sleep apnea. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. You're only 19 years old. Wait till you get old. Bright eyes burning like fire. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to end the stream. I want to thank you. This has been the best stream we've ever had. I don't know. Does Kermit want to find out? I'm going to thank everybody for being in the stream. Oh my God, we got 30 people. The top 30 people. We've got London Man. I didn't even see you there, London Man, but thank you for being in there. Caroline Cooper, arguing with Lewis Schaffer. And Lewis Schaffer loves you, and you argue with me. Do not argue. Dave Toby is at 28. Alan Williams is 27. Beautiful, beautiful Janet is at 26. Avril Rutherford, a round of applause for coming in, Avril. She's at 25. Makeshift is here at 24, and Alex is 23. Keith Bexley is at 22. Darklands is at 21, and there's Lilith too. Oh my God, the pretty girls here. Lilith. I mean, they're all pretty. Lilith is 20, and Chartel is 19, and Vatanai is 18, and I See You is 17. Joodles is 16. Maltese Phil, 15. Julian is 14, and there's Kate Gwynn. And there's Kate Gwynn. And then at 13, at 12 is Lorna and Elite Elixir, all the women here. Thank you very much. Toxic Goyhole is 10. John Van Dam is 9. 8 is Andrew Rubin. Thank you very much, Andrew. Joe, beautiful Joe, 37 years young, is here at 7. And 6 is Gnome Hunter, who disagrees with what I say and doesn't even like to talk about it, whatever it is. But maybe he does. Maybe you do. Daz is at 5. There's Seller, who really added a lot to this discussion. Claire is 3. She's not here. I love Claire. Hi-Ho Kermit is 2. And Paul Yoward is number 1. This has been a great, great, great show. Let's see who guessed what the right number is. Let me find out here what the right number is. Remember, yeah. Can you see me? What's going on? You can't see me. Okay. I didn't do it. I got to get the picture on the thing. I forgot that. Thank you very much, Kermit. Thank you, Kermit. I forgot all about it. I thought you could see me in the corner. But who do we have? We've got Janet has 26, and Selaire has 38. Andrew is at 33. Caroline Cooper's at 37. Shortell is at 36. Julian's at 69. Shortell's at 36. Joe Warrior is at 38. John Van Dam's at 37. Don't forget, if you liked it, hit the button before you leave. Yeah, that's important. We've all been here. Can you do me a favor, everybody? Can you maybe make a contribution to keep the stream going if you like what I'm saying? Remember, there are lots of people who don't like what I'm saying. You don't have to every single time, but I do appreciate it. Go to Ko-fi. There you go. Thank you, Kermit. Go to Ko-fi.com/Lewis Schaffer, or go to PayPal. Thank you, Kermit. Go to PayPal. Go to Patreon at Lewis Schaffer. That's how you find it. Go to Discord. Go to go over here to Lewis Schaffer at X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. whatever you're going to call it. And the winner of today's show was Caroline Cooper at 37. That's a good number. 37. 37. Very good number. You know, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you listen to me. You don't have to agree with me. And as a matter of fact, you should not agree with me just because I'm saying it. But congratulations, Caroline Cooper. I've met her in person and she is lovely. She is lovely. And I'm going to go look at the stream right now to see what's happened with the stream. But, you know, always investigate, always question, always question. Question. So we'll see you tonight at 10:30. Will we see you tonight at 10:30? I hope we will. I hope we will. 118 people were listening. Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you, Chartel. Thank you, Cellaire and John Van Dam. Great participation. Vatanai, really good. Daz, we're going to investigate mortgages. If we shouldn't stop people from loaning, maybe we should. Loaning money. It brings a lot of pain and sorrow, loaning money. Basically. So there we go. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, everyone. So we will see you tonight at 10:30. Are you going to be there? Tell me if you're going to be there. Jana will be asleep. Alex will be there. Thank you, Alex. We'll be there. We will see you tonight at 10:30. I love you. I love you. I love you. If you don't want to be sick, get sun. Lower your stress. Don't eat schmutz. Don't eat toxic seed oils. And eat low carbs. Have I sold the camera on Vinted? Which camera are you talking about? The one for like £2-3, those cheap cameras? No, I mean, if order it, and I'll send it to you. And it'll be touched by Lewis Schaffer. Caroline, I will see you later. I love you. Scott, there you go. We didn't thank Scott for being here. TTFN. Thank you, and Jules too. Okay, so I'll see you later. I'm going to keep the stream up for 2 minutes.